Hello, everybody. I will start my today another coding live session. So today I solve this question: validate IP addresses. Given a three query IP, return IPv4 if IP is a valid IPv4 address, IPv6 if IP is a valid IPv6 address, or neither if IP is not correct IP of any type. Okay, and a valid IP4 address is an IP in the form where cannot contain any reading zeros. For example, yeah, this is a valid IPv4 addresses, while this is not valid because it has a reading zero, and this isn't valid because yeah, this has the reading zero, and this one at is not needed, obviously. Okay, and a valid IPv6 address is something like this. Yep. Hexadecimal string which may contain digit, lowercase English letter, A to F, and uppercase English letters. Hexadecimal string. Hexadecimal string which may contain digit. I see. Okay. Digit, lower English letter A to F, and uppercase English letter A to F. And up to 4 digit, or maybe characters. Reading zeros are not allowed. Reading zero are allowed in XI. Okay. For example, this and this are valid. I mean, each segment has up to 4 characters. Yes, 1 to 4 characters, and it has digit or lowercase or uppercase English letters. Good, but this is not valid because this has J, which is out of the range 8F, and this one, this one has 5 characters, so this is not digit. Okay, I see. So let me clarify my understanding on this question. So in this question, I'm given the string query IP, which is string, and I will return the Boolean flag. No, string, which suggests which type is it. So this is the interface. Okay, and constraint. Yeah, I think I don't have any specific constraint which matters. Yeah, but maybe I need to check which characters this query IP string can contain. And it says English letters, digit, English letters, so digit and characters, this one. So each char is, this one. Okay, so once this is said, I can say if I can say if the string contains this, I can say this should be IPv4, or it cannot be any. Or maybe it has this one. It can be IPv6 or neither. If it has both of them, or if it doesn't have any of them, which means that, they're just neither. It is just neither. So Once it is done, it is said my task is to do this one, this project, and this project. Yeah. So let me think of this. If yeah, for this one, let's say it looks like this. In that case, what I can do first is split by comma, then check length is equal to 4. That's something I can do. Next, check no reading zeros. I have to check it, and also check which range is it? 0 to xi to 155. I have to check this. Once this is checked, I can say this IP is IPv4. Yeah, that's something I can say. Good. In this case, I do quite a similar thing. So split by semicolon and check length is equal to 8. Then I have to check each length is 4. And each char is inside of valid one. Yeah. But actually, I don't have to check it because as a constraint, each char has this one only, and now IP has this one only, and column only, no column. And I've already split it by column, so each segment doesn't have semicolon. I mean, each segment is either A to Z, 0 to 9. Oh, but I have to check this one. And no G to Z, G to Z. Yeah, I have to check it. Once this is confirmed, I can say this is IPv4 by v6. Good. Okay. Yep. I think this works. That being said, one edge case I have to take care is like this. This should be IPv4. No, this should be IPv4, but this should be neither. And maybe I should check the case if it has both of them like this. This should be neither. Or if it doesn't have any, this should be neither. And also I'd like to check. In this case, this is invalid because it has the small, Z inside the string in the last chunk. Yep. Okay, I just listed the edge cases. I've just come up. Maybe I have some more edge cases I have to think. Yep. Anyway, let me start the implementation. No, let me do the complex analysis. So basically what I do is linear scan. Assuming that there are n characters in the given IP query, it takes some reason O of n time complexity. Splitting take O of n time, and checking it each chunk takes only the length of the chunk. So it should be O of n. For space complexity, yeah, probably I will create the list of chunks which should take O of n space complexity because there are in total n characters, almost n characters in the, I should say up to n characters in the chunk list. Yeah, and that's it. Okay. So let me start the implementation. So if this is, sorry, let me go with the PP4 first. Yep. Okay. Now I implement helper method. So once, okay, I take a look at line 28. Chunks is equal to IP split with dot. And if length chunks is 4, return false. So I've done 28. I do 29. Check no reading zeros. Okay. So okay, let me do this. No. I'm splitting zeros, so I can do it. Or I should say is bar read IPv4 chunk helper method. The chunk is string. Then if after checking this, if all of them is a valid chunk, I return true. Okay, here chunk int is so I check let me do this. So chunk string converted to int is not in this range. Immediately return false. And also I have to check if this is no reading zeros. So I can check it in this way. Yep. Then or I should say no reading zeros. And I will return no reading zeros. Yep. So now I'm done with line 28 to line 30. Okay. Good. So I implement is IPv6 method. So I do a similar thing here. I have to take care when I copy pasting this. Okay. I've done line 73 or 74. Again, I will create the helper method. Is valid IPv6 chunk. Yep. Good. And what I will do is implement this method. Wait. Here, chunk strings. No, I should keep single chunk, and I don't need this. Yep. So here again, I give chunk string. And what I should do first is length. Okay. Next, each chunk is A to F, A to F, 0 to 9. Okay. So if, what should I do? So I have to check if this is, A to Z, so A to F, A to F, 0 to 9. So I can maybe do if old char in A to F. Okay. So if not, then I return false. But not A. Okay, so I can return true if this is true. Yep. And here I noticed in line 79. Oh, no. It's okay. Yeah. It's good. So I firstly checked ranks is equal to 4 or not. If not 4, I return false. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. Okay, so I checked chunk string length. It should be 4. It should not 4. So if it isn't 4, I return false. And I take a look at each. No, I don't need this. I don't any 4 over here. No. This is char. Yeah. For each char, I confirm it is in the range AF09. If it's true, so no. If this is true, I mean, if the char is not either of them, I return false. And I return true if all of them are in this range. Okay, I've finished the implementation. So let me quickly dry run the first case. Yeah, let me quickly check with 000 this case. Or maybe obviously for this case, this should return neither. And this should be true because in rhyme 50, this is covered and returns neither. Yeah. And wait. Oh no. Is IPv4 I should return string IPv4. Otherwise, neither. Okay. Or maybe I can say, no, yeah. Let me go with this. Here, if this is IPv6, I return IPv6. Otherwise, I return neither. Okay. So again, I continue the dry run. So I've already covered this case. Good. This one, because it has semicolon only, so I go to line 60 and call is IPv6 method here, and I converted the chunks. So no, I would like to check this case. So I call, 0.0.0. So I go to line 75 and no, 65, and then gets the rest of 4 zeros, and range chunks is equal to 4. So I go to line 868 for each, which is single digit 0. I call is valid IPv for chunk. So this is code base string 0. So line 76 is true. It in the range 0 to 255. I go to line 78, and this should be true. Int 0 converted to string is string 0. So no range is 0. This is true, so this returns true. Yes, but in this case, it is 0, 0. Here, this becomes 0 is equal to 0. The chunk string is originally 0, 0 is equal to 0, so this becomes false and returns false. Okay, the is valid IPv for chunk method is covered. Okay, I covered this and this. Okay, yeah, I think I've covered IPv4 case. I'm confident on it. For IPv6 case, yeah, let me check it if it doesn't work, but I'm pretty confident in it. No, IPv4 case it failed. Why is it? Oh, there is a space. I remove this. This is neither. Oh, IPv6. Okay. No reading zero is allowed, but no reading zero is also allowed. So here I should check this chunk length is 4 or smaller. But still this returns neither. Okay, server test this test case. So this one is neither, but I judge it as IPv6. What's the problem with this? Let me check. It has no, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 chunks. So here, let me check if my code comes here, goes through this line, and this goes through this. Yes. So for chunking chunks, if this is not valid, IPv6 chunks, then I return false. Let me check print which chunk is invalid. So 2001 false. What's the problem with this? Which contains digit, lowercase English letter 8F, and uppercase English letter 8F. Okay, so this should be true, but this returns false. So what's the problem with this? So is valid IPv6 length is smaller than 4, return 4. Now, if length is larger than is not 4, I should return false. Yeah, but still, it has a problem. No, wait. So this has to be less than 4. So if this is larger than 4, I should return false. But one case, I'm not pretty sure is. Just A. Is this allowed? Or only reading 0 is not allowed? I mean, so A, this case. Yeah, because only 0 signifies this is 0, 0, 0, 0. So maybe this is allowed. Only A, this is may not be allowed. Let me check. Not sure. Wait a minute. So I think this is allowed in my understanding so far, because it just says X length is 1 to 4. It doesn't say it must be 4. Even though examples show, examples are all 4-digit or only 0. I submit. Okay. I see. This may not be, chunk string may not be digit only. So I have to check it. If chunk string is digit, not is digit, I return false immediately. Good. So let me test this case. It passed. I submit again. Okay. Again, this is invalid. Yeah, so I find the reason. So here, where is it? it must be 1 to 4. So, but here it has chunk whose rank is 0. I have to check it too. Okay. Oh, I use this test case. Accepted. Submit. Good. Accepted. Okay. So let me quickly wrap up. So today I solved the question validate IP address. In this question, I'm giving a string and I check if it is valid IPv4 or valid IPv6 or neither. So the basic idea is firstly I check if colon is included or not, semicolon is included or not, and according to that, if only colon is included, then it can be IPv4 or neither. If only semicolon is included, then it can be IPv6 or neither. So I created a helper method to check if the IP is IPv4, and also another helper method for IPv6 checking. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I did. Okay. So that being said, I finished my today's coding practice. Thank you so much. Bye.